Hey guys, a quick video for me. I'm going to share my views on the new Nude Hours YSL eyeshadow palette. This is the packaging on the outside. I want to share with you like my experience. I've had this for like over 2-3 months now, and I've been using it every single day for my everyday work routine. And I wanted to share like my views on the formulas, the kind of way I use it, and also if I think it's worth money and whether you should buy it. So this is what the palette looks like. These are all of the shades. I'll do a swatch as well, but it comes with three shimmer shades, and that's also a shimmery one. Two kind of, matte shades and two cool tone matte shades. So these are the two warm and these are the two cool. And then we have this kind of darker shade. So this is the swatch of all of the colors, and it's exactly how it is in the palette there. So you can see kind of the light pink, the brown, the two kind of warm shades at the top, the cool shades at the bottom, and the shimmery shades. I'll share like what I find actually, like how to actually use them. So this shade in the middle is quite chalky, and like so is this one. I find that they're quite chalky when you put your brush in, like you have to kind of really blow away the excess. So you can kind of see that there. The colours themselves are really beautiful, and it's exactly the kind of palette that I was going for. So I wanted a palette that was neutral. I wanted a cool tone palette. I wanted something that had warm shades as well. And I wanted something that I could kind of take with me quite easily. Now, I think it's quite a big palette. Like that is my hand, and I think it's not very travel friendly. I have taken it abroad, but I find that like it's not the easiest to take with you, like if you're just going on like a backpacking kind of trip that I kind of like doing. And I find that like it does have everything I need, so I don't have to take extra shimmers. I don't, I can use some of the highlights on my cheek if I really wanted to. And I think it's quite easy to work with. Now I'll say like this is my favorite shade. This is like a cool tone, so is this. Like this color story here is beautiful, and I think combining this and this is something that I use every day. And I can use like kind of like this shimmer on my like eyebrow area here. For me, the colors are great, so that I'm like, an Asian, South Asian skin tone. They work really well. I think if you were a darker skin tone than me, maybe some of the shimmers would work, but these lighter shades definitely wouldn't work. Like you can see them there, like they just wouldn't show up on any kind of darker skin tone. I think on a lighter skin tone, you might have to buff them out quite a bit so that they're not as vibrant and not as stark either. Okay, so let's talk price point. So it retails for about £67, I think, and I ended up getting about £15 off when it's your first order on the YSL website, which I think is a really good deal. I think, for the price point, I think you do get a lot of shadows and you can do a lot with it. I think, if you really wanted to, I think you can use these colors as even like a bronzer. I don't know if people do that, but I like to use different products in different areas of my face. Like this brown combined with the black, I can definitely use it on my eyebrows if I wanted to and not take like too many products on holiday. So I think, I really liked using this palette, and I think it's quite a luxurious packaging. Like you can hear the kind of magnetic close, and I think, the packaging is really beautiful. Like it feels like you're buying a luxury product. I think sometimes it can be quite frustrating when you buy something expensive and it doesn't give that luxury vibe, or it doesn't feel luxurious when you're using it. Now, do I think this is the most unique palette ever? Not really. I think the, Makeup by Mario, he has some really great like Ethereal Eyes palette. I think he has like the Master Mattes palette as well, that, kind of are on the same storyline as this palette. However, I find that like I just wanted something. I didn't buy any of the Mario palette, so this is like my first neutral palette that works really well. One of my other favorite palettes is the Soft Glam uh, Anastasia palette. I think that's like a really great palette. It has like the perfect pinks. It has like a burgundy color which work really well for that soft glam look. I think you can definitely get a soft glam look. It's just going to be a very neutral story, and you can make a smoky eye out of this, and you can make like an everyday work routine. I do have a like everyday work makeup look on my channel if you are interested, and I do use this palette and show you kind of how I use this shade and this kind of shade here, and like build that kind of everyday look. It's actually what I have on my eyes right now. It's only such a subtle color, but I think it works really well. I think for the price point, I think you do get a lot of product, and I think this is something that you can keep, and it will last you for ages. I definitely use makeup like way past its expired points, so I think if you're like me, then you'll definitely use this for a long time. One thing that I don't like about the Soft Glam palette is that like it doesn't close properly. If you've ever used it, it's kind of like this very soft shut. And I like the fact that this is kind of airtight and it closes with a magnet, and the packaging is really nice. And all of the shadows inside are quite big to work with. Like, you're not going to get fallout in all of the shades. Like you can kind of brush that away. And with like a smaller palette with where like the pans are really small, it can be quite hard to get the right product without mixing it with other things or creating a mess over like a small palette. So would I recommend this? Like 100%. I think it's got a great color story. I think there is definitely some fallout, especially on like these shimmery shades. But I think, are these shades really nice? Like the cool tone and the warm tone? Like 100%. I think for South Asian skin tone that's similar to mine, I think it's a great color story. I think again, if you're a deeper skin tone, it might not work very well on you. And if you are a lighter skin tone, everything might pull a bit too brown. And that might not be kind of the neutral look you're going for. So I think, yes, whilst it works on some skin tones and some people, it might not be for everybody. For the price point, I think, I personally don't buy a lot of makeup all year round. So for me, this was a splurge and definitely worth the price point, what I paid. And of course, you're paying for a luxury premium product. So, I think it works really well. I've used it for a couple of weeks. It's very easy to use and I just love the colours and the packaging. So overall, very positive, kind of look for me. And I think if you are somebody that's looking for a new palette, then this, definitely should be on your list. And you can definitely get that £15 off when you buy, from YSL website for the first time. Hopefully that review was helpful. I think, I like to hear people's reviews that are using a product all the time. You can kind of see that I've used the palette a lot. Like I've definitely rubbed my fingers in and, been using this one especially is my favorite quite a bit. So for me, having that is really important, and, getting a review from someone that is actually using their product is key. So I recommend it. I think it's worth the price. I think it'll last a long time and I love the looks that I can do with it. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you end up buying it or if you already have the palette and what your thoughts are. Thank you.